Yo, how's it going, everyone? This is Mitchell Mander here, and welcome to another review of the Pokemon Journeys series. We're covering episode 100 in today's review. Yes, we finally made it to episode 100 of this series. Crazy to think that we're already 100 episodes in the Journeys, but here we are. But anyways, in this episode, it's the Ash and Leon training episode. And also Sonia's back after being gone for over 50 episodes. And we also got a new opening, which I talked about today, and there's actually something else in the opening that I'm going to be discussing in a couple days. But that's for another time. Let's actually talk about today's episode in this video. So how was the episode overall? Well, before I get into the review, you guys know the drill. If you're new to the channel, you like this type of content, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. It'd be pretty awesome if you would do that. So it's the day after the Marnie battle, and Ash was actually going to help Go catch some Pokemon in the Galar region. He promised he'd help him out. Unfortunately, Ash overslept. Go tried everything he could to try and wake Ash up, but he wouldn't wake up. So Go just left him a note and took off. But Ash wakes up, realizes he's overslept a little bit. So he tries to catch up to Go. He runs out of the Pokemon Center, but he ends up running into some kids who are going to catch Leon's battle at Wyndon Stadium. Ash overhears this and decides to switch course and go to the stadium instead of go to try and catch up with Go. So as it turns out, Leon's facing off against Flint of the Sinnoh Elite Four in his Master Class battle. Yeah, that guy. He's yet another character confirmed to be in the Masters 8. We know of 5 characters now that are in the Masters 8. Leon, Lance, Cynthia, Raihan, and Flint. And Flint's currently ranked 7th. So that means Raihan is either gone to 8th place or is higher on the list. Not really certain at this point, but we just know that Flint is in 7th place, and yeah, he ends up losing to Leon pretty easily. He puts up a decent fight, but ends up getting taken down and falls to 8th place in the Masters 8. Ash actually ends up running into Leon, and Leon actually invites Ash out to do some training. Pretty nice. Leon's actually taking Ash out to the sea to do some training, and it turns out that his Charizard car from the 3rd opening, yeah, it's real. I didn't think it was going to be introduced in the series. I thought that was just for the opening, but it's real. It's pretty cool, but Leon, he got kind of lost, because instead of going to the sea, he actually ends up in the mountains, so he decides to train in the mountains instead. Meanwhile, Go's kind of just chilling, trying to catch some Pokemon. His Grookey has befriended a few Gossifleurs, and he ends up catching one, which is kind of cool. Talks to Ash for a little bit, and then he ends up running into Sonia, of all people, who is actually doing some research on some power spots. Decides to bring Go along with her, and yeah, her driving skills haven't improved. Kind of driving crazy all over the road, scaring the heck out of Go. But yeah. So the interesting thing here about Go and Sonia's interactions here is that Go actually asks Sonia about Leon and what he's like, since they're childhood friends. We learned that Leon's not exactly good with directions, and in fact he's pretty terrible, as Ash is now learning. But we actually find out that Leon actually didn't have a whole lot of friends when he was younger. However, as soon as he befriended Pokemon, it became a different story. And I like how Go actually connects the dots here and actually realizes that Leon and Ash are actually quite alike. They both love Pokemon. But I think the most important takeaway here is that Hop is actually mentioned. Not directly, more so indirectly when Sonia mentions that, yeah, Leon has a little brother that he's taking care of. So, is Hop coming to the anime sometime soon? I feel like it's definitely got to happen at this point, because we know that he actually exists in the anime canon, so make it real. Let's make Hop actually appear in the Journey series coming up pretty soon. But let's move on from that and go back to Ash and Leon. We then get Leon training with his Charizard, and then we have him also doing a little bit of training with a Dragapult. And then it turns from training into playing, as Ash and Leon end up playing with a bunch of Wooloo. It looks like they're having quite a lot of fun, and just hanging out, battling, training, and playing with Pokemon, as Leon says. That's what he does all the time. Is that the secret to Leon's strength here? Who knows, but I guess it seems to be working for Leon, at least. But anyways, a bunch of Corviknights show up and start causing some mayhem, driving some of the Pokemon away. Leon actually takes care of it while Ash actually investigates what's going on. It doesn't seem like the Corviknights are doing this intentionally. It seems like they're trying to drive away the Pokemon for a certain reason. And that reason is one of the Rookidis, probably one of its children, is injured. And it actually realizes that one of the Pokemon was trying to seemingly go and attack the Rookidis. Doesn't seem like that's the case, but anyways, the Corviknights strike, and the Rookidis actually get knocked out of their nest, which Ash actually jumps out and tries to catch it, and practically almost falls to his death if it wasn't for Leon saving him. Even Leon calls him out for being a little reckless here, but then he also says, yeah, I probably would have done the same thing. We then get a pretty interesting conversation where Ash actually asks Leon what it's like to be a champion. Even though you kind of already are one, Ash, but we'll ignore that for right now. But I like Leon's response, where he basically says he's become undefeatable. No one's been able to beat him. So he wonders if he's reached his limit, but he remembers back at the Darkest Day incident, where he essentially was helpless against Eternatus. He realizes that there's stronger creatures out there. So he realizes that, yeah, I can just keep getting stronger. I can get a lot stronger. And Ash actually says, yeah, I want to get a lot stronger too, so I can actually beat you. Which, I don't know, I thought this was a pretty nice conversation, and Leon actually realizes that they need to get back now. But he doesn't know where his car is at. Typical Leon. So the episode comes to an end with Ash and Go reuniting. After who knows how long it took Leon to find his car and get back. But yep, they're all reunited. Leon and Sonia are reunited. Ash and Go are reunited. And that's where the episode comes to an end. So overall, this was a pretty nice episode. It's a pretty chill episode compared to last week's episode. I thought it was pretty cool. I like how we got to spend some time with Leon and kind of learn more about his character. As there hasn't been a whole lot of time dedicated to him in the series, we just know that he's an undefeatable champion. He hasn't been beaten by anybody, but we get to know a little bit more about him. Also, Hop exists in the anime, so that's exciting. So hopefully Hop shows up at some point pretty soon. But yeah, it was overall pretty nice. Seeing Sonia again after so long was also pretty nice. I do wish that we got to spend a little bit more time with Go and Sonia in the episode. It felt like she was just there to provide a little bit of exposition for Leon and nothing else, so that was slightly disappointing, but oh well. So one thing I did like in this episode is the parallels drawn between Ash and Leon and how similar they are to one another. As Sonia said in the episode, Leon's basically a big kid. When it comes to Pokemon, he just loves them. He adores them. He plays with them, he battles with them, and trains with them. Ash is literally the same, and Go actually recognizes that. And both of them are very similar, as we see in this episode. Makes me wonder if Ash is actually going to be like Leon in the future and be an unbeatable champion. That's still to be seen, but it makes me wonder how they're going to handle Ash as he goes into the Masters 8 and into his battle with Leon. Because both of them are similar to one another, but that's going to be Ash's greatest challenge he's ever had in his entire Pokemon career up to this point. Facing off against a character that's very similar to him. So it's definitely going to be interesting, and this episode, it really does a nice job setting up that future battle. Alrighty guys, that's all I got for today's episode review. So overall, it was a pretty good episode. It was kind of unfortunate that the new opening kind of overshadowed this episode. But it's still a very good episode. I definitely recommend checking it out. I'd say it's like a 7 or 8 out of 10 episode. So I'll give it a 7.5 out of 10. So in the comment section down below, post your thoughts. What do you think of this episode? Did you love it? Did you hate it? I'd like to hear your thoughts. And if you're new to the channel, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And have a good day or night wherever you're at, guys. And peace.